Yo, what's up YouTube? Tix here, bringing you guys a mutant guide video, okay? I'm giving you guys 3 builds. These are the best in the slot builds in my opinion. Obviously they all have different purposes. Break it down and I'll show you why. Okay, so first of all, got the balance build. This is what I call it. This is what I use most frequently. Obviously this is the most expensive build. It's probably around 350k, something like that. Obviously all of the attachments are here. So basically, why am I using this build the most out of the other two? I play a lot of labs, I farm rubles, right? You guys know this. 30 rounders, you're probably best using this if you're trying to kill players and raiders because you'll have the most stats possible. 44 recoil, 55 ergo. Super good, very good. Okay, so you can do this, which I see a lot of other streamers do, and I have done it myself quite a bit as well. You can run the 73 rounder, which by the way is very, very good in PvP. It's like ridiculously good. And if you're farming raiders for level 71 for Kappa, it's also very useful. You only need to bring 1 magazine in raid, so it's pretty good. So you put that on there, it drops the ergo down to 39. 39 ergo, I know, it's in the red, it looks bad. Trust me, ergo this wipe isn't that important as all the wipes. You know, you'll notice the feel of it being different, but it's not that bad, trust me. It's very good. Like I said, a lot of other streamers and players do use this build. It's very, very strong. It's completely up to you though, whatever you want to do. In my opinion, the reason why I think drums are worth using, in PvP at least, is because if you've got a 73 rounder and say you're being pushed by a squad, you've got those rounds to put the squad down, you know what I mean? If you've got a 30 rounder and you miss some shots, you're going to have to reload, man, and that's going to get you killed. 73 rounder, you are big chilling. And you can also use it for certain situations like cover fire as well. Say you got in a sticky situation, you need to get out, but the guy's going to peek you. You know, you can use a 73 round to start spraying the wall so he doesn't peek you. You know, like pre-firing, which can help you out a lot, which also helps me out a lot too. And you can also use it for pre-fire too. Like, for example, if I'm going to peek somebody and I know where he is and he's behind cover, I'll start pre-firing the cover to try and wallbang it. That is the benefit of running 73 rounders. I do recommend it. But overall, this is probably the best build, I'd say. But it is situational. Like I said, I think this is my favorite, but we'll move on to the other builds now, okay? So, next build. This build is also very, very good. Obviously, scope's all preference. It depends what you're going to do. If I was going to run this build, I wouldn't use a long-range scope. I would use a hollow zero. It's best close quarters combat scope, in my opinion. Banana magazines, you know, it's just for a flex, okay? You can use the other ones. They look cool. They're basically the same, though. So, let me explain why I think this is the best in slot build for close range and stuff. So, the handguard, right? The handguard and this, the CQR. All right, so why am I using this handguard? Okay, so I'll explain. This handguard right here that I'm using, this build is the best. Like, this is the best. It gives most ergo, lowest recoil, etc., etc. The drawback is you can't use a CQR grip on it. You can't put a CQR. Shift grip and the CQR are basically the same thing, but the price. Okay, so say you don't have max traders and you want to build the best in slot, you want to save as much rubles as possible, your best bet is going for the CQR. CQR is always cheap. Look at that, you don't even need max traders. It's 18,000 rubles for basically the same stat as the shift grip, okay? So, you can't put the shift grip on this handguard right here. You can only put it on the N6 split. Basically, they're the same stats. You lose out on like, you know, 5 ergo. But other than that, it's basically the same build. It's just a lot cheaper, and you can build more of them, and you don't need max traders. Obviously, it's going to be a pricey build anyway without max traders, but you save a lot on this here for sure. Like, a shift grip alone is 100k, so being able to just pick up a CQR for 20k is huge, and obviously the NC split is super, super cheap. This is probably the best build overall in terms of price, performance, right? Like, if you save a lot of rubles. Like, if I die, for example, 5 times and I run out of these by the trader, 4 of them, I'm going to have to pay 70k for a handguard. I don't want to do that. And it's the same for the shift grip. 60k. I'm going to run out. But if I go to this, it's 20k. If I go to this, it's 15k. Super cheap. You save like 200k sometimes. It's crazy. Can run 73 rounder on it. I wouldn't recommend it. I just run 30s on this build, but it's entirely up to you. Here's the stats with the 73 rounder on. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's definitely viable. Definitely viable. All right, moving on to the last build. Now, this is the most versatile build. Obviously, the drawback is you don't have long range. Sure, you could whack on a long range scope and it would be decent. The accuracy is like slightly worse, and you do have more horizontal spread, which is pretty bad for full auto guns. You can run 30s. It's up to you. Like, this is literally a CQC build. It's an absolute unit of a gun. Probably the best close range gun in the game at the moment, other than the Val and the MP7. So that's the ergo. Put a magazine in, 66.5, insane ergo. 49 recoil, 121 horizontal. That's really, really good for what you're getting. The benefit of this build too is, because it's a short barrel, when you go around doors and stuff, your gun's not going to get pushed into your chest, you know, like a long barrel gun would. Which serves really well in maps like customs, like dorms area, factory, just on door frames and stuff like that. So the short barrel is very, very good. Right now, I'm actually testing it. I'm using it a lot more than I would be on labs. Usually I use the long range gun. But I'm thinking the short barrel might be better in most situations on labs right now. But yeah, so that's the build right here. In my opinion, if I were you, I would always use 73 round on this thing. Always. Look at the stats, dude. Look at this. 50 ergonomics, 49 recoil. This is insane. Like, just, I'm gonna load up the magazine now and show you, okay? I would definitely recommend using this over the other ones, but it's entirely up to you. I gave you guys the build, so it's all on you, man. See, it's just, you just hold left click and everyone falls over. You know what I mean? It's GG's, bro. Good fight. So yeah, that's the 3 builds. These are the best in slot, in my opinion, of what you can run. Obviously, I don't have a laser on. You can put whatever laser you want on there. A small thing to note is, my opinion right now, running long range scopes in Tarkov is probably going to serve you better as well. You can run long range on this too if you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? You can. I don't really see a drawback from doing it. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd still stick to the long barrel for the, you know, lowest recoil. But yeah, these are the best guns in the game at the moment. 1000%. These are the builds. It's all on you. Choose whichever one you prefer. In my opinion, I recommend this one for, like, you know, the versatility. Like, it can do everything, like maps like interchange, customs, etc, etc. But if you wanted to get more advantage from playing close range maps like customs and factory and like dorms and stuff, I would definitely recommend running this. Okay, definitely recommend it. Those are the builds. Hope you enjoy the video. Yeah, enjoy.
I'm home tonight, been waiting